In this video, we'll be going through the Threat Intel Platform MISP lab within Blue Team Level 1. The first thing we're going to do is go to the Instructions tab, and we have the scenario. As a trainee threat intelligence analyst, you have been tasked with using MISP, a threat intelligence platform, to conduct some analysis and research into threat actors and cyber attacks. Your manager has provided you with 4 different tasks to complete, each with 3 associated questions. Read the tasks, investigate, and find the answers. The first section we have here tells us how to actually connect to the MISP server. So we need to look at the private IP address on the top of the lab client, which is listed here. It says we need to open up Firefox, so we'll click that now. And then we need to go to https:// and then the IP address at the top. We'll be given a security warning because of the self-signed certificate. We can click advanced and then accept, and then it gives us the login credentials. So we'll grab this IP address here. We're going to go to HTTPS, then paste the IP. We can either type it in manually, or we can copy it, paste it into the clipboard, just so that it goes into the machine, then paste it. We get this, so we'll click Advanced, click Accept the risk and continue, and then we are at the MISP login page. So we'll jump back to here. We can see the email is admin@admin.test, and the password is spt misp admin 12345 !! We'll click login, and it will take us in. Cool. So task 1, the organization is very concerned about ransomware attacks and the devastating impact it can have on reputation and business operations. Perform some quick and simple research into different ransomware tasks. Answer questions 1, 2, 3. So we'll go to the questions tab. We can see here that question 1, how many MISP events are found when searching for ransomware? So we can go here. So we, by default, are on the events page. If we need to get back here, we can always go home, and it will take us to the events page. So we need to search for ransomware. So we'll use this search box here and just type in the string ransomware, press enter. And then if we scroll down to the bottom of the table, we can see how many results there are. So we can see here, this current page of the table, so page 1 is showing us 60 out of 153 total. So there are 153 events, as we can see. I've already put this in. Question 2, Lockbit is the name given to a type of ransomware and the group of criminals that operate it. Search for Lockbit and look at the most recent intelligence report. Look for indicators and submit the name of the domain observed in this event. And the actual answer they're looking for is the domain used by Lockbit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to search for Lockbit at the top. And then the question specifically asks us to look at the most recent intelligence report. So event IDs are going to increment. So we know that this is the most recent event. So let's have a look at this one. So we click the event ID to open it up. We'll just get the question open again. So we're looking for indicators and a domain name. So on this, what we want to do is have attributes open, which is open by default. So if you see the plus icon, you need to click it. And if we scroll down, this is the attributes table. So these are basically, indicators of compromise. And what we're looking for is a domain name. So what we can do is we can either change this. Let's see if this works. Change it to network. Yep. So we have domain here, orangebronze.com. And without doing this, what we can do is just keep scrolling down until we see it. So we see it here anyway. Network activity domain orangebronze.com. And this is a domain, specifically a Cobalt Strike, which is a penetration testing framework, which is abused by adversaries. And we can see that this domain name is associated with a Cobalt Strike command and control server. So this domain name here has been used by Lockbit. So we'll answer this. So it is orangebronze.com. That's question 2 done. And question 3, one of your colleagues also mentions you should look at Babuk. Yara rules can be used to detect malware based on certain predefined properties. Find the provided Yara rule and discover what the name of the created ransomware note file is. So we need to go and search for Babuk. So what we'll do is we'll click home to go back to the events page. We'll search for Babuk. We've got one event, so nice and simple for us. We'll click into the event by clicking the event ID. And then we're looking for Yara rules. So we can see here the author of this MISP event is using this table here to include them. So we've got this type of Yara that does it like it is the only one. Yep. So this is what the Yara rule looks like. We can click show all to make sure we see all of it. And then the question is asking us to find the name of the ransom note file that's left on the desktop or in different locations. And we can see here we've got a line that references the string how to restore your files.txt. So, we're looking for where is it? The ransom note file, right? So txt is completely expected. Nothing else here kind of is related to a ransom note file. So this is going to be our answer. So it is how to restore your files.txt. So that's task 1 done. We go back to the instructions tab. We're looking at task 2 now. So Turla team, tracked by MITRE as ID G, G0010, has victims in over 45 countries. Investigate recent activity related to this threat actor and their operations. So we're going to want to search for Turla team, potentially also want to search for the MITRE group ID, this G0010. So let's try with Turla team first. We'll click home, close this, Turla team. Okay, no events, so we're definitely going to want to search on that ID instead. Let's go back here. So G0010, let's see if anything comes up for that. Nope, okay. Let's see what the question says. The question might guide us. Okay, so it's giving us a specific event to look at anyway, so we'll type 986. Let's see what's going on here. We'll do all fields because that will also search the event ID. No, that is actually going to search every single ID. So we're going to change this to ID/UID. So 986. And obviously, alternatively, you could go into any event and then just change this value in the URL to 986. So a few different ways to get to where we are now. Click the attack matrix button. So we're going to go down, and attack matrix is this one here. So we're going to click it to expand that section. Cool, and it says what high-level tactics, so obviously the tactics are the groupings, techniques will go under tactics, these are different stages of an attack. So we're looking for which high-level tactics contain highlighted techniques. So we can see here, right, we've got these red highlights under persistence and privilege escalation. Let's make this a bit bigger. Privilege escalation, and we have collection as well. If we go down, just make sure there's none anywhere at the bottom that we're missing. Nope. Okay, so we'll go up. So we have persistence. We can start adding these in now. Persistence, privilege, escalation. We have collection, and that is it. Lovely. Question 5. On the same event, look at the tag section and click on the threat actor galaxy tag to view other events that include this actor. How many events have Turla group as a tag? So if we go up, we can see all the different tags here. We can see that we have this MISP galaxy here for threat actor is Turla group. So we can click on this and it's going to show us all the events that have this same tag. And if we scroll down to the bottom of the table, we can see that there are 16 events in our MISP that have this tag applied. So number of events is 16. And in question 6, find an event on the event list that has the tag MITRE intrusion set Turla and click it. Of the 2 events found, open the oldest one. What is the name of the decoy document used by Turla in this phishing campaign? So we're looking for MITRE intrusion set Turla. So we just need to look through these, see if we can find it. Here we go. MISP Galaxy MITRE intrusion set Turla. We see these 2 events. We're looking for the oldest one, so we can go based on event ID. So the lower value is the older one, so 697. Click on that. And then the question is specifically asking us to provide the decoy document used in the phishing. So if we go down to the attributes table, we have file name here, runner.exe. Are there any other ones? We have a couple different, these are JavaScript files. So the question is asking us specifically for the decoy document. So it's going to be a document that is designed to appear legitimate. So runner.exe, it's not going to be that. Nobody's going to run runner.exe, but we do have this file here, which is tagged under payload delivery. And this is the save the date G20 digital economy task force PDF. So out of everything here, right, these other ones are just JavaScript files that's not going to be related to a decoy document. So based on the information that we have here, we can say it's here. And we can also see here in this, I believe this is a comment column, we can see here it literally says benign PDF decoy. So what we'll do is the question is asking us for the full file name plus extension. So we are going to highlight this, right click, copy, and it's going to come to our clipboard so we can paste it straight in and submit it. Okay, back to the instructions tab, task 3 for questions 7, 8, and 9. Distributed denial of service attacks are a huge threat for companies that are reliant on service availability. As a telecommunications company, if our systems were subject to this attack, customers may be unable to connect to our services, causing massive reputation damage, which could lead to reduced sales. Questions 7, 8, and 9. So question 7, perform some research on DDoS booters, online services that allow users to launch DDoS attacks by renting a botnet. How many IP addresses are provided in the event? So we'll click home and we're going to search for, we can try booters or DDoS or a combination of both those. So let's try DDoS booters first. Nothing, okay, so let's try for booters. Okay, booters with Chinese characters. The rise of Chinese online DDoS platforms. So this seems quite relevant to what we're looking for. And we're looking for how many IPs are provided as attributes in the event. So we'll go down to the attributes table. We can see we have all these IP addresses here. Let's just see if everything is an IP. We have some host names as well. And we have some comments and some links. Okay, so if we're only asking for IPs, what we can do is obviously we can just scroll and count these. It might take a little bit of time though. So let's see if there's a way, filtering tool, and we are going to set the, let's just turn that off a sec. So the type is IP destination. These are all IP destinations, so there's no IP source or anything like that, which makes it easier for us. So filtering tool, and then we want to find a way. So we want type. There must be a way to do this. Okay, maybe not. We might have to do it the old-fashioned way then. I thought this would be a bit easier to do, but I guess not. No, okay, cool. Well, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to have to go through and count these up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have 23 different IP dest attributes in here. Nope, let's try 22. Nope, let's try 24. We'll get it right eventually. There we go. Perfect. So we can achieve that just by counting these. I must have counted one wrong out by accident. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a nice, quick and easy way to actually filter on the type. We can only change the sorting order. But 24 different IPs in this event related to Chinese DDoS booters. So question 8, we have find the event that mentions KoalaBot, find a website link where the malware has been uploaded, such as VirusTotal. What is the original file name? Copy the link out of the lab as it has no internet. As the URL is long, you will need to copy it in 2 parts. So we need to search for KoalaBot. We'll go back to the home. KoalaBot. We have this event here, 999. And we need to look in the attributes table, which is normally where different things are stored, like notes and external links. So we can see here, external analysis, VirusTotal. What we want to do is we want to copy this. Now, the question has told us that the link is too long. So we can see here it cuts off here at Anna when we're expecting analyst / and then this number. So what we'll do is we'll open up a new tab, we'll paste that in, jump back, and then we want to just copy. We'll go from this analysis part, and then we'll paste that back over here. Okay, so we've got the VirusTotal page. Let's see what the question wants us to do specifically. We want to get the original file name. So the file name as it was first seen. So we can go to the details tab, and this just gives us different information about the file that was submitted for analysis. We can see names here. We can also go down and see file version information, and we can see the original file name when this file was first created was cla.exe, and we can see here in the names that there's a few different names that have been associated with it, but we are looking for cla.exe is the original name of this file. So cla.exe. Question 9. When systems are compromised, they are turned into bots and are then used to conduct DDoS attacks. Investigate the event related to the Rhombus malware and look at the internal reference item, which is a Reddit link. Read the report, as we need to find a way to identify if any of our systems are compromised. Find an IP address that systems will communicate to as soon as they are infected. So we're going to be searching for Rhombus. So we'll go back to home. Search for Rhombus. We have the event here 1164, and we're looking for an external link. So here we go. We have this Reddit link. Obviously, the lab doesn't have internet, so we will need to copy this out. Check the clipboards. We can see that we have got the full URL here, so we don't need to copy and paste twice. We can get rid of the virus title page now as we don't need it. And we can see here we have this kind of report about what this malware does, how it works, which is great. And what we are looking for is a IP address that the malware will call out to and the port as well. So all we need to do is just have a read through this. We can try and search for different things. Obviously, the best scenario would be to read all of this to actually understand how it works. But for our purposes, we're just looking for this IP. So we can control F for IP. We see C2 will be sent by encrypted data through socket from the bot client. The infrastructure used by adversaries that we should block. So we're just looking for a reference to an IP address and a port that is contacted by the malware. Okay, so it looks like when the bot software, so the malware is executed, it's going to do this, and it's going to call back to the command and control server, and it's going to use the IP address here and the port 2020. So we can copy this, paste it in, and that's question 9 done. So we have 3 questions left, and which is for task 4. There have been reports lately that a company we use, MyVoice, has been abused recently in ransomware attacks. Gather intelligence to report back to the executives about the situation. Questions 10, 11, and 12. Find the CVE that is being exploited within MyVoice, do some research on it, and find out what versions of the MyVoice Connect software are vulnerable to this. So we're going to go home. We're going to search for MyVoice and see what comes up in MISP. We have 2 events here. This one looks pretty empty, whereas this one has a lot of information. Let's check the empty one first, just to see what's in here. Lauren's ransomware group cracks MyVoice. So that's definitely relevant to the situation that we're looking at the moment. And we're looking for the vulnerable versions. Let's see if there's anything in here. We have a link, which is probably going to give us some of that information. Doesn't look like we have the vulnerable versions listed in here. We have a link to the CVE, so we can look at that as well. Let's go ahead and do this Arctic Wolf link first. So we're going to copy this. Go back to our host machine browser. Let's see what we can find on here. Anything about the versions of the software that's vulnerable. Let's see, this is all about exploitation and how it's abused. Here we go. Okay, so impacted versions we have here. So let's see what the question wants specifically. It wants us to provide the version and earlier. So let's see. So we have this, right? This is going to be R 19.2 SP3 and earlier. So obviously we need to add this in and earlier. That's cool. Question 11, find the link to the Arctic Wolf report. Perfect, we've already got it open. Found within the MISP event. What is the file name and hash associated with the persistence technique deployed by Turler in these attacks? So there was a heading for persistence, I believe. Persistence, yep. And we're looking for, I believe it's the file name. File name and hash, both of which are nicely presented here. So it's a web shell. We have the file name, comma space, and then we have the file hash. Copy that out as well. And then the last question, in the Galaxy section of the large event about Lorenz ransomware and the MyVoice attacks, click on the magnifying glass icon next to Lorenz ransomware. When was the group first active? So if we go back from where we were, remember that we had this other event when we were searching for MyVoice, which looks like it has a lot more information. And it wants us to click the magnifying glass next to Lorenz ransomware. So let's see where we can see it in the tags. Is it in the tags or is it going to be in the clusters? In the Galaxy section. Okay, so we'll click into this event 1264. We have all the tags here and we are looking for galaxies, which we have here. And we need to click on the magnifying glass icon here next to Lorenz ransomware. So we can see this here. Click the magnifying glass. It gives us more information about this. And we can see have been active since at least February 2021. So that's the answer to the question, is when did this group first become active, or at least the first activity recorded against them was February 2021. And we finished the lab. Perfect. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us through the BTL1 forum, but hopefully this helps you solve the lab if you are stuck.